I better get on the stick and send you another recording. The three children are here, Tim and Joan and Greg. Rhonda's in bed, and Mark's at school, and Ray's at work. So I'll have each one of them say something, and then later on when Marky gets home from school, I'll try to get him on it too. So I'll put Tim on first. He informed Joan and Greg that he's the oldest, so he should talk first. So here's Timmy.
On Valentine's Day, Joni, I was writing Valentine's, and Joni said, "Why don't you put on the Valentine 2 Mickey Mouse?"
Pretty funny, huh?
And thank you for the candy.
And the gum.
And the gum.
And that went first, didn't it?
Mm-hmm. And suckers.
Uh-huh. And tell them about what you're doing in school.
I'm making kites.
Kites. And what are Marky and you doing every night after school?
I'm learning how to write.
Marky teaches him how to write the alphabet. And they have tests and things. And Timmy, he has to always take these big tests, but he does pretty good in them. And Joni sometimes is included too in them, but she's kind of small yet. Now I'll let Joni say something.
Hi, Grandma and Uncle Michael. How are you back there? Thank you for all the goodies and everything.
And the Valentine's?
And the Valentine's. And thank you for everything.
And how about the pretty towels Grandma sent? You should tell her where Mama has them.
And my mother has them upstairs in me and Rebo's bedroom. I'm not upstairs.
Well, upstairs on the boys' dresser. We are using them for dresser scarves because they look so pretty.
Yeah.
And they match Joni and Gregory's room. When she said Rebo, that's his nickname on that program that comes on Saturday morning. There's Alakazam show, and there's Rebo, the funny little clown. And that's where Gregory got this nickname, and he thinks that's pretty funny too. So I'll let Joni say a little bit more then.
Grandma, thank you for the dollies and everything that you gave me from Christmas. I liked it. This one with the big tails, that one's really cute. And I show it to everyone that comes, everyone of the Lakers, and they like it.
Okay, now we'll let Gregory talk.
Bye. And now Reba gets to talk. Bye. I got a new book for Christmas.
Okay, well, tell them about Valentine's Day, the fun you had and things.
That's what we have. Valentine's Day.
And how about Easter? What are you going to do Easter?
I'm going to have my new shoe set.
New shoes on.
Mm-hmm.
How about the Easter rabbit? Is he going to come here?
He's going to come here.
But where is he going to hide his eggs and candy and things?
He's going to hide it,
What, is he going to hide him in the house?
He's going to hide the house off his wood right. And if it's sunny out, then he'll hide him outside.
That's right.
And then sunny out, he hides them outside.
Well, that's a good idea, isn't it? Because last year at Easter time it was just awful, awful rainy, and when we got up there were eggs all over the house, wasn't there? And in the kids' room and on the stairway and just all over.
And in Rebo's shoe, too.
Yeah.
And in Rhonda's closet, too, where her Easter. Yeah, and there was some candy in our shoes and everything.
Boy, that Easter rabbit last year had to work real fast because the weather turned bad all of a sudden. And when we got up in the morning, or I got up around 4 o'clock, and I noticed that he wasn't going to be able to come outside. If he went outside, he'd be drowned. He'd be like a wet rat.
And the Easter eggs will get wet.
Yeah.
Yeah, and all the candies and everything.
And Joni, how are you going to do in school next year?
I'm gonna paint and write you, and I might draw a picture of a bowl.
Jimmy, every day practically he brings home some real big masterpieces to hang on the wall in the family room. Greg, okay, you say something, Gregory.
You know what I'm gonna do in school? I'm gonna paint and draw.
You're going to paint and draw in school, huh? Well, that's a good idea. Are you going to learn your alphabet?
Yeah.
Can Gregory say the prayer before we eat for Grandma?
No.
Show her that you can say it. Bless us, O Lord.
Blessed are you.
These are thy gifts.
How about this? Quite a lovely trip.
And how about the angel of God one? Can you say that one?
Angel of God.
My God. Well, he's not doing his best here, that's for sure, but he can do pretty good otherwise, and he makes the sign of the cross now the right way. Tim, he's pretty sharp. I should have him recite something. I'd see how much tape I have left, but now he's acting silly and he doesn't want to, so I won't bore you with him. But it's real nice here today. It's sunny, but the wind is sort of cool, and our tulip tree is starting to bloom. It's quite a high tree, and it has nice pink blossoms on. And the camellias are in full bloom now in Sacramento, and this week is the parade.
And some of them aren't growing yet.
Some of them aren't blooming yet. No, they last for quite a while. They kind of resemble roses.
Let me talk.
Okay, you say something again, Greg. You have to hurry, though.
Because the tape's gonna run out.
Mama wants to talk some more. I was going to tell you about the books I've been reading. I finished 2 of them last week, and this week I'm just about finished with another one, but it's really nice during Lent, and I know I have many, many other projects to do, but this is the easiest. The children all want to talk, but when I put them on, they don't have much to say at all. Now, Joni wants to talk again.
Hello, and see, every day I want to comb my hair and everything. Want my hair fixed it up in curlers, and my mother fixes it up then. And then I went to a dresser and I don't like to have them in me. You know, when you put those pins in there, then
It kind of hurts sometimes.
yeah, it's kind of.
Yeah, Joni likes to have her hair curled. That was the trend of the story here. they get the blankest look on their face. They don't know what they want to say. But anyway, I was going to tell you that Sunday or Saturday night, Pauline and her husband and children who came to town, and they called from a motel over on the boulevard, and they were staying there overnight. I guess the children were tired, and they were down to visit his folks at Turlock around Modesto. So anyway, I had to tell them that we had plans to go over to Napa, that Laverne Berg had invited us several weeks before. So anyway, they came over about 10:30 or so, and they stayed until about 1:30, and then we went on over to Napa and got there about 3:30, and we had dinner with them, and it was nice. I baked a couple cakes to take over, and I certainly was afraid that, that they would expect me to postpone my plans for Napa, but they understood, and I mean, it's not very polite if I would have had to call Bergs and tell them that we can't come because we got company. But anyway, it worked out real fine, and Pauline's got a nice family. So Ray took the little John, our little godson, up to the barber shop and cut his hair, and he looks real cute. The girls are nice, too, and they live over at San Bruno. It's a little way south of San Francisco, about 8 minutes out of San Francisco. So sometime I think we'll drive over and see them. But we had a real nice visit, and Roy is a real nice fella. He's different, but I mean, he's real nice, and Ray sure enjoys visiting with him. They got a 63 Ford. I guess it was one of the end of the year sales, and they saved quite a bit of money on it. I think he's quite business minded because he's Japanese and they use their heads instead of just a hat rack. But no, I'm at a loss for words. This morning I went to Mass, and tonight I have to go to confession for First Friday tomorrow, and Ray went to Mass at 6:30, and next Wednesday, I think it is, they have confirmation over here at St. Robert's, and I'm supposed to be sponsor. I guess they'll have a practice one night or so this week. They usually do, or next week, perhaps. But I know this Bernadette Blanchard had asked her mother had asked me a month or two ago already. Oh, things are working out pretty good at the barbershop. Ray says the sky is sort of buckling down a little bit more and trying. Ray said it'll show up pretty soon, if people come in the second time and wait back on him, well, then he'll realize that he goofed up on his haircuts and he'll try a little bit harder. So anyway, I hope he can straighten out and be good, so Ray wouldn't have to put somebody else on and try to break somebody else in on this. But yesterday when I was outside, this is about nature study again, our trees out here, they've got sort of a growth in them, and I noticed other trees in the neighborhood too. It looked like all the leaves of the winter would fall off, except there would be a clump of real green stuff up in this tree. So Ray found out from somebody at work that that's mistletoe growing in the trees, and if it isn't cut out, it will eventually kill the trees. So anyway, we have to get busy with the saw and saw off those branches and put some kind of a tar or treatment on the stump. But I noticed there's quite a few throughout the neighborhood like that. Now, I didn't know that mistletoe grew like that, and this is the regular kind they talk about at Christmas time. Here we had mistletoe in our trees at Christmas, and I didn't even know it. But it stays green the year round, and it looks so funny. I never thought about it being any disease or any fungus, but it was. Yesterday we had sewer problems here. Our garbage disposal, the stuff I would grind up in the garbage disposal would go out in the sinks in the utility room where the washing machine, runs the water in. And the tubs would fill up with this junk, and Ray took the thing apart underneath the sinks, thinking it was underneath the twin sinks out there that was plugged, from lint and stuff. But it wasn't. So yesterday when he came home at noon, somebody had told him about this sewer outlet on the side of the house to take the cap off there and run a hose in. Well, he had to take the pipe wrench on it, and oh, it was a miserable job getting it loose. I guess it hadn't been taken off since the house was probably built, but he put the hose in, and gee, it was really plugged up, but he was so happy. He said that he saved just about $12, because those plumbers are quite expensive when they have to do things like that. But I guess I won't worry about putting Mark on this time. If I finish this off now and then some other time, I will try to include him on it because he's at school and I know he likes to talk, and you know that he has the best intentions. So I'll just go ahead and run this off, and then some other time we'll get him on it because it's kind of hard for me to hold it over. And then I probably won't get to it right away, and it's kind of hard, and I think the children would like to hear this run back. But I'll see once how it progresses here. Do you hear from a grandfather anymore, or since his birthday? Probably not since his birthday, but since Christmas time maybe. Did anybody get over to see him during that time when they opened up the wall there so people could get through? And how about the other relation over there? I'd sure like to hear about it, but I mean, I kind of lost all contact, who's where, and how old the children are and what they're doing and things like that. I kind of feel guilty. I don't know if Catherine still sends things over or not, but I never have. It seems like a person gets so, I don't know, with the family yourself that you don't have any extras, or, you just devote more time and money to your own than you do for somebody else. I guess that's the selfish part in me, or us. But I think of them often, and I imagine that they're all pretty well taken care of, perhaps except the ones in the Russian zone, and those probably not too much can be done about their welfare either. But I imagine Grandfather is getting old and starting to feel his age, although he's sure been alert all these years, and he writes so nice and everything. So I see my tape is going to come to an end here, and I hope you're feeling fine, and we're all feeling much better here. The children had a mild case of the flu or some stomach upset, but they seem to be pretty good now. For a while there, it seemed like every time I'd be doing something, Gregory would be in the bathroom hollering, I'm done, and then I have to run upstairs or in the back bathroom. I didn't even know he was in there, but he'd go 4 or 5 times a day, and that is unusual for him. He usually has a routine of once, and that's it. But I hope that you're all fine, and I hope to hear from you again, and I thank you so much for everything. It was all so nice, and we sure appreciate thoughtful